Henrietta Mann. I am a citizen of the Cheyenne and Arapaho tribes of Oklahoma. I love education. I've always loved it. I believe that we should never forget that American Indian nations were the first groups to establish educational institutions, to have first students, to be the first teachers of this land, to be the first administrators. And I was one of the few that said, I want to become a teacher. And so I went off to school and graduated from high school and went on to college about 30 miles from my hometown and got my bachelor's degree. Consequently got my master's degree from Oklahoma State University many years later in 1970. I had went to teach at the University of California in Berkeley and moved to the University of Montana, where I had advanced through the academic ranks to associate professor when I told myself that I had a promise that I had to keep, and that was to get a doctorate level degree. Then came the big issue. How was I going to finance this? And so I looked around and found few, if any, organizations except one that provided funding for students at the graduate level. And that particular organization we now know as Native Forward Scholars Fund. At that time, it had its first name, the American Indian Graduate Center. I was so happy the day that I received my award letter from Native Forward and knew that I was on the road to making my dreams come true, as is true for many of our Native young people today. They have dreams, and education is a way of achieving those dreams. And finally, in 1982, I completed my Doctor of Philosophy degree in American Studies from the University of New Mexico. That was one of the happiest days of my life, to know that dreams do come true, especially dreams for getting as good an education as we possibly can. I have lived in the perfect world as far as I'm concerned, in working with our nation's most brilliant students who have become lawyers, educators, administrators, doctors, anesthesiologists, educators on their home reservations. So that education certainly was a way for me to empower myself so that I could assist in the process of empowering our younger generations. And that is exactly what I see Native Forward still doing today, providing the kind of necessary financial support to young people who really have only a few places to go for financial assistance, who need to too have that opportunity to maximize their knowledge and skill areas to become our next generation of tribal leaders. Native Forward is certainly an organization that has developed the mindset of many of our young people by funding them for their higher education degree programs. And the cost of higher education is getting increasingly more expensive, and so that certainly puts a kind of impetus upon organizations like Native Forward to work hard to make sure that they provide assistance to those who dream and have visions of becoming the educated people that we so desperately need in our respective communities.